I was going to start making another video where I was assembling this MALM bed frame, but as you can see, this thing didn't really survive shipping, and the problem is that I received these things 2 or 3 months ago and they were just staying in their place waiting for me to assemble them. So IKEA, I don't know if they will give me another one, although obviously look at this. You need force to do something like this. Probably they went in it instead of under it when they wanted to lift it with the forklift. That's my best bet. And I didn't see it. The guys that brought this thing in put it with that corner right there in the corner of the room, so I had no idea this was happening, and they put other stuff on top of it. I'm going to call IKEA and see what happens now. Okay, thumbs up for IKEA. They will replace both of them, because this is number 1 somewhere in there. Probably once it was written number 1 for this bed frame. This is number 2, and they need to replace both of them, although this is in good shape. This order was received 3 months ago. Still no complaints from IKEA. So again, thumbs up for them. But for the delivery guys in my area, it's impossible for them not to have known about this, because they put it right against the wall somewhere around here, so it was impossible for me to see from the other side. And when they lifted this package, tell me how you can lift this from the edge and not see a huge hole in it. Yeah, having the damaged bed frame, we are starting to assemble the drawers under the bed. So let's get to it. 2 in this box and 2 in another identical box. Obviously I will only show you one of them because it's same thing times 4. So let's get to it. Opened up the box. As you can see, those are the 2 fronts that you can actually see. This is a back, that one. These are 2 sides, those ones. And here we have the wheels and the rest of the stuff. Wheels seem to have kind of a rubber. As you can see, I can leave camera focus. I can leave marks in if I insist. So should be rolling. Yep, not making noise, because plastic would make noise. So that's perfect in my opinion. Strong rubber, no noise. Let's assemble this thing. And this is the bottom of them, because it's not a thin sheet like it is normally on drawers, because these have wheels and this is a structural part of this thing. So let's assemble. The stands are into this, and the stands themselves, or connection element standoffs, I have no idea how they are actually called, are much stronger than the standard ones, which only have a plastic layer on top of the metal in the middle. This is full metal all the way. And the fly, what the okay, hello fly, YouTube saw you. And here we put the wooden dowels into those things that will actually come in here. So let's mount them. Okay, these things are put in place and not tightened yet, only with one connection. And we are using this type of connections which have an arrow on them. The arrow is pointing downwards to connect to that pin, and you simply insert it, if you can, something like this, and rotate it. Yeah, I'm not holding on to this, so it's jumping out. The idea is you rotate it 90 degrees until the arrow is pointing upwards or a bit to the left. And that's tight, and do it for all of them. Then install the stands on the back part that will actually come here on top, and then put these connections also in here. So yeah, let's have fun. Also installed the back. As you can see, all of the holes in this area are visible so we can put the bottom on top of this thing. And also here they are not aligned, so also that gives you a bit of an impression if everything is okay. This must not be aligned, but this must be flush because we have something to put in here, which is that thing. So let's get to it and then tighten a ton of screws all around of that weird type right here, which I think we have also this for them. This thing has an unfinished side which will go in there, so make sure you don't leave that one in here, because here it must be all around white and nice. Tighten all of this with this thing, because with that it will take until tomorrow at least to finish. And now getting ready to put in the little wheels with some small screws that they provided. Okay, this is finished. The screws for them are these really small ones that I will use on the other one. At this point this can be flipped and it's fully finished and working. Voila! Ooh, honestly it's moving quite nice. Yeah, it's on cardboard, on the cardboard box, but smooth movement. Hopefully on this will be smooth apart from this. Anyway, there's that. Now I will do this 3 times more, but for you, next, hopefully we will be doing the bed frame, because the new one and the good one arrives. Finally, the next package arrived and it's undamaged this time. So let's get assembling. I'm going to open this thing up and see what we have inside the box. Open this thing up, found the manual, 2 persons required. This is what we have inside of all of these bags. They tell you to work on a carpet, obviously, so you don't scratch anything up. I usually use the box itself as a carpet. Yeah, we have a wrench here and 2 of these metal things. So, yeah, what next? These little feet need to be hammered into the end pieces, because these 2 are actually the end pieces from the bed. And the top one, the tall one, actually installs onto one of the end pieces to where your head will be, to have it taller. So yeah, at this point let's get those in. And step number 2, we need to tighten these things with the included wrench, which is this one. So I need to open this and this. Feet are hammered in both of these, 6 feet in total. But be careful when installing these elements, which are in this picture here, which is upside down. You get my point, because there are 2 types. You do not want to install this type, the one with a metric at the end of it. We want to install this one. So those are good, those are bad, and I need to redo them and then install 2 other in there and 2 other in there. And yes, you install these things with this little key that they give you. It has 2 channels on the sides and this fits in, and you need to tighten them. Do your best to start as straight as possible when tightening. At this point in time we need to open package number 2, and in theory we find there these 2 rails, and at each end we install 3 wooden dowels, not the big ones, this smaller dimension. We have a bunch of them in here, and those will go into these holes in the end when we start putting everything back together. But for now we have the metal elements in place and the feet. So let's open that. Okay, so that it's open and it's gray. This is white. That's gray. This is white. What the hell, IKEA? What did you do? Checked the numbers on the packages and they actually sent me the second package from the gray bed, not the white one. So check the numbers on both packages when you receive them and make sure they are from the proper product. Anyway, I will use this and I will show you in a moment the only reason why I'm not returning this to get the white one. And this is the reason. The PAX wardrobe that we have in this room actually has gray doors. It does not come in white doors. So next to the glass we have gray, which is the same one as the bed. Rest of the furniture in this room will be white, but they will both have these gray accents, this and the bed. So in the end, yeah, use it as is. But IKEA, what did you do? First time damaged, even the PAX was damaged, as you can see here. But I ain't sending that back again to wait a while. So let's continue to assemble a white/gray bed. And it's done. And on the other ends we have exactly the same in a mirror. And these things are quite heavy, so these probably are full inside. These ones are much lighter. They are full inside, only where some things need to attach to them, but where they don't need, they are empty and really light. But this give it structure a little bit more, so they need it to be full on the inside. Next step, we need to assemble everything together with these elements. As you can see, they have a hexagonal pattern in there and an arrow. The arrow needs to be pointing in this direction when starting, and when you will tighten it, you will end up with it pointing in this direction, showing that it's pulling and it's fully tightened. And they actually latch onto these things, something like that. They start latching more and more and pull everything together. So that's the idea. Now let's go and do this with this little thingy. As they show you here, don't fully tighten one of them and the other not at all. So you tighten one a little bit, then tighten the other a little bit, the other one, and like that. So it slowly pulls everything together without putting force in this direction onto all the elements. This is the next day because we had an emergency last night, but everything is okay now. These things will not like to go in there, the wood dowels, so we are going to use this one, which is brand new, so it's its first job. Put a soft piece of wood on this and smack it with the hammer, and in theory it should go in. I hope, we will see. Now we install these things with the arrow pointing in that direction. Or did I do a boo-boo and this should have been installed in before hammering this? Oh, that would suck. That would really suck. Okay. These need to be installed before because they will not pass next to this thing. Why they don't have a slit in them? What? Is this some kind of sick joke? Yeah. So you need to put this in, make sure they stay at the right angle, and then start hammering this thing. Hopefully it will come out easier than it went in. Take two, much better. And you cannot fully hammer it in this time. These things will actually pull it the last distance. Both of them fully tightened. Now I need to do 3 more corners and we are done with the first part of the frame. And just another thing, the arrow will not always point in this direction when it's fully tightened, like it does for the much smaller ones that you normally use in furniture. Only the arrow is pointing there from the start, but then you rotate it as much as you need it to be fully tightened. Put 5 wooden dowels in the holes there, there. Yes, there are two, one next to the other, which will line up with these holes. Put these metal stands in the four of them in the holes from this, and now we lift this thing and set it in there. And with the plastic parts plus this, we will tighten everything in place. I will show you in a moment. Okay, this thing is on top of the other. We have this here. We put this plastic right here in the top part on the screw itself. It will act as a spacer and make a flat surface for this, and then tighten this thing in here. If I could actually do it, something like that, and then use this little guy to fully tighten it. And yes, we do this for 3 times more. Next we will decide the total height of the bed, including mattress, and it depends on what thickness of mattress you have also. We have a really thick one, so we are going in the lower holes, not those, for the thick mattress that we have. And yes, you put screws in all of these holes and tighten them. And the type of screws is this one. Next step, we need to put these brackets, and we choose the lower holes. If you went with the other configuration, then you need to go with the upper holes, but for us, the lower ones, and the same type of screws like for those rails. Next we have these telescopic elements that basically can change the length, 4 of them, and we will put them like this in a pattern inside the frame from underneath, both ends, with these tiny screws, and they will self tap in there because there is no thread. You make the thread, so they will go a bit harder and make all kind of metal shapings all around. And then you make sure your bed is as straight as it can be, not even like this. So you measure from one end to the other and make sure both measurements are equal. And then with other same type of screws, we will lock everything in place. All 4 of these are tightened in place. Make sure you do not try to put one in this hole in the middle, because they will not properly reach, and you need that for later step, I think. And when putting in this screw in the middle, support it with the hand from underneath. Do not make it too high, or do not let it sag, because then it doesn't do the job properly. It needs to be fairly tight. Next we will put this cross beam in place in the centers. It's telescopic. Once again, you need to adjust it to the proper length by yourself, and it was a separate package, and mine I think was a bit hit in the transport because it was really hard to adjust it. And basically we are doing this and then install the parts that we actually sit on. So let's get to it. Next step, we install these little thingies. I'm not sure what they are trying to tell us here, honestly. Anyway, maybe if you have this type, like I do, of support, you need to install them, and if you have a different support type that it's actually not shown here, you don't install them. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing, but I have this type of foldable supports, the cheaper ones, so I need to install them, and they will be 8 of them in total, and they are going in that hole right there, in that hole, the top ones, in top ones right here, and in that one, and the same on the other side. So let's have fun. Next I'm installing these 2 LUROY, something like that, accordion looking thingies, one on this side and one on the other side. So yeah, let's cut this and start installing. The plastic thingies are doing exactly as I was expecting, are keeping this thing stretched and will not allow it to come back as an accordion. So looking good. Let's put that in here. This thing is ready to go on. This, which help you lift it, the handles basically, have this thing. So if you open it up, this will start to unpack, and in theory you choose your end from which you want this thing to unpack. Hope I choose correctly. And it's open up, and it will take up to 72 hours for it to reach its normal thickness and to be straight once again. Now we are just sliding the drawers in. That should be quite an easy job. Make sure you don't bang the ends. Yep. I actually like it with this gray. So again, fitting with that. Thank you, IKEA, for your mistake. Also need to put those things in. And let me show you the model of the mattress. And it might not be that thick as I thought. So it's HOVAG, something like that. I have no idea how to properly pronounce it. But yeah, the level is quite okay considering we have two small daughters. So yep, all perfect. And it's finished. Yes, I might be moving things around. Still need to install a radiator there, so it's gonna be fun. But at least everything is assembled. And in the end, I actually really like this gray part here. But yes, as you can see, one of the drawers is blocked by that, so that will be long time storage, and when I need to access it, that needs to go away. Same for the other side. The other ones are easy to access all the time. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Hope it helps you. This thing seems to be awesome. Ask in the comments how it fares over time, but hopefully all is good. I didn't see any weak parts or something that I didn't like. And that's about it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye. Also, IKEA, if you want to sell furniture with a touch of gray, maybe gray doors on that thing with a white frame, maybe gray doors on this like that one has, and you cannot change it because it only comes on gray, give me a call. I think I'm going to let you use my idea, which you created by mistake sending me the wrong package. Anyway, probably somebody has a gray frame with a white edge now. Yeah, bye.